Hey everyone, welcome to our podcast. I'm Hansel here with my best buddy Wayne. We wrote a book, which, like this podcast, is also called theCoderBros Go to White Castle. It's a book about our story, how we grew up Asian, how we became best friends, and how we found our White Castle. Only our metaphorical destination wasn't a fast food joint, but an awesome little business we call the Coder School that we now run together. So we started this podcast to explore the stories of other Asian Americans like us and how they'd write their own book. So Wayne, today we have a pretty dang cool guest with a pretty dang cool story. Who is it?
Yeah, our guest today immigrated to the United States from Vietnam when she was only 5 years old. We will certainly want to hear all about this for sure later in the podcast. She's a graduate of Sacramento State University. She can give the nickname for it to you guys later as well. She's led a diverse career ranging from sales to customer service to paralegal work. She loves the outdoors and hiking, and apparently goes to Yosemite almost every other weekend if you follow her on Facebook, or at least it seems that way to me. I follow her on Facebook. So welcome to our podcast, Sarah Nguyen.
All right,
Thank you.
Welcome,
Thank you for
Sarah.
having
So
me,
yeah,
guys.
yeah. So
yeah.
you
So
want to
start
just
us off.
get us started and let us know what you're currently up to.
Hi, I'm Sarah. Currently, I live in San Francisco. I'm married. I work at a law firm as a legal assistant. It's a small law firm that handles healthcare, law, and litigation.
All right, and so you're married and you're living in San Francisco still. That's all. What part of San Francisco are you in?
Let's see. I want to say Western Addition, nearby Japantown.
Ooh,
Okay.
That
yeah.
helps. Yeah.
Kabuki? Is the Kabuki Theater still there?
The Kabuki Theater is still there. Yes.
All right.
Nice.
Well, Wayne and we have not lived in San Francisco for a long time, but I read a lot of the news about how San Francisco is kind of falling apart. Do you,
That's
do you,
true.
do you see that, or is it like I love San Francisco, right? But what's it look like to you?
Honestly, I was reading those two, and it's really negative to hear, but I really don't care anymore at this point
Right.
because I still live in a city
Yeah, damn
and
it.
I still live here, and I had always wanted to live here. That was
Yeah,
my bucket list a long time ago, you know.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Um,
right
but
on.
I have to do say one thing. As a resident, there are pockets of like dead zones, I want to say, and then there are like zones of like outrageous people that
Mhm.
forgot everything in the last 5 years. For example, last night I went to Japantown for dinner. I hit dinner time at 6 o'clock, 6:30. I could not find parking, and there
Oh,
was a ton of cars, and there's construction being done at the Peace Tower. And then I did find parking, and then I went inside to one of the plazas inside where the bridge is. Oh my gosh, there was a gazillion people there, and I thought this like 3 years ago when I walked through here, it was so sad. I was wearing a mask, and all the businesses were just kind of like here and there. But then last night it was bustling and
Oh,
hustling
cool.
with
so yeah,
people,
maybe it's
and
on its
it
coming
and
back
there's
because
pockets of it. Yeah,
um
where I work at, it's kind of dead. It's like nobody shops, everybody does online. So if you're retail, I'm sorry, but if you're a restaurant, yeah.
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 Okay. Okay.
Shopping, no, but eating, yes. But yeah, I mean,
Eating,
I
yes,
do.
yes.
I'm connected to you on Facebook, and I have seen some of your posts, and there was the one during the pandemic because you were one of the few that still live and
Oh,
work in the
yes.
city. And I think
Yes.
one of your posts literally had you as it was almost the only person in the picture in downtown SF, which is just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that was during the lockdown when we
Mm.
were supposed to just, if you're an essential worker, you can go to the your
So
office.
you were
So,
illegally down there.
well, I had to go do something physically down there, like get
Ah,
some mails and stuff like that. We were taking turns going down
yeah.
there, just one person and then one other attorney. So that was perfectly fine. We all wore a mask. And so I was able to take pictures of the empty streets around downtown, which is kind of like the
Yeah.
financial district area at that time. And it is still pretty darn empty because you can't get any of these accountants I want to say, our bankers back into the
Yeah.
office.
Yeah, they won't come
If they
back.
found remote work, they're not going to go back.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to move on with that, you know?
Yeah.
So
Well, it makes
that's what
sense.
it is. They're all at home. They just want to go out when they want to go out, and you'll see them all over the rest of the city. So if you come into the city, it's jam-packed with traffic jams, with people hailing cabs,
Cool.
Ubers, robot cars. Don't get run over by them.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
issues there
right.
too.
Sorry.
Well, glad to hear San Francisco is kind of on its way back. One of the
Yeah,
things.
we even went to the jazz festival,
Oh,
SF Jazz to
yeah, yeah.
listen to during Christmas to jazz. And that was a hustling, bustling area in Hayes Valley. So
Okay.
there's
Cool.
tons of areas that are still active and still, even I want to say, thriving. We went down to the Fillmore the other day for Pinza Pizza, and it was beautiful, majestic, the way classic San Francisco was, and
Love
nothing
it.
had changed about it at all.
Well, one day maybe Wayne and I will actually make it back up there.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your Asian side. So you are probably one of the first that aren't Chinese, as Wayne and I are. You're actually Vietnamese, right?
Yes.
So your last name, I will let you pronounce your last name because I
Yeah.
know all Americans mess it up, and Wayne and I probably mess it
I
up too.
probably messed it up, and I
The
apologize.
most popular last name for Vietnamese, I'm assuming.
Yes, the Jones and the Smiths of Vietnam. Yes. So it's either Tran or Nguyen. Sorry, I'm going to pronounce it in Vietnamese. Chung or
Jung?
Nguyen.
Oh,
Chung. Yeah,
Jung
it's
is
kind of
Tran.
pronounced
Jung is
almost like
Tran.
Chung in
Wow.
Chinese, and Nguyen is Yin in Chinese.
Okay,
So
I was gonna say
we
win, so I was close. So it's
I
Win.
we.
Yeah,
I English it a little bit so it's easier. So it's just Sarah Wynn, so it's easier for folks.
win. Yeah, just
Ah.
okay. I
Yeah.
Googled it,
You did.
and
Did you really?
Google was
What did
wrong.
it say?
Google was
It kind
wrong.
of was like Nguyen,
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Well, you have to
Nguyen sounds like
remember
a white guy.
Vietnamese is like Chinese. There's no it's
there's
one
no
syllable. Yeah, there's one
right.
syllable words. There's no double syllables.
Yeah. So let's see.
Nguyen.
So you're Vietnamese, and so one thing we like to ask people is sort of how Asian you feel. So you're in America now. You're an Asian American. Do you feel like you're very much an American, or do you feel like you're still rooted in the Asian side of yourself?
Oh, that's a really good question. I gave it some thought uh, because I think before when I first came to America, I gradually like edged my way up to like 50-50, I want to say.
Hmm.
Half Asian, half very white, almost to the point where, hey, I could go further and just be like really, really white and maybe blend in. It's not happening.
You're gonna like dye your hair and your eyebrows.
Yeah, dye your
I
hair blonde.
I want to say it's fluid. So currently I'm looking at probably maybe 30-70,
Hmm.
or
30 of
70% is more like it's very like very white, Americanized. I don't want to say white, it's
Yeah,
Americanized,
okay.
Americanized.
Melting pot.
Americanized.
Okay.
Yeah. And 30% is still the Asian part of me. And again, the Asian part is the Vietnamese part, not
Do,
Hmm.
do you
Asian
speak
Asian.
Vietnamese?
I do still speak Vietnamese. Yes, I almost
Awesome.
forgot it at one point.
Is your husband Vietnamese, or are there people you can speak to in Vietnamese?
Just my mom, my brother,
Okay.
and my relatives. No,
Yeah.
my spouse is Taiwanese.
Oh, okay. All right. So completely different language. So like,
Yeah,
Yeah, so
no
that's not
way.
gonna
you guys just speak
work.
English to each other.
But yeah,
English, full on English.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. So speaking of Vietnamese, I mean, I think that's like one of the big stories we really want to dig into. You told us a
yeah.
bit about it, before we started the podcast, and we are
Yeah.
super like just on the edge of our seats. So tell
And
us how you got to America from when you were young.
yeah.
Let's see. I was like see. I was born during the Vietnam War. My older brother was born first, and then I was born afterwards. And the the fall of Vietnam occurred on April 30th, 1975, but we initially did not leave Vietnam until maybe a couple years afterwards. The reason for that was uh, my mom didn't want to leave her family.
Mm.
My father was in
Oh,
the military, and I think,
Ooh.
according to her story, he had provided transportation for her to for a Jeep or something to pick
Now, was
her
he
up.
actually
And
fighting? Was he actually fighting
he
in the
was
war?
actually a naval commander,
Wow.
lieutenant commander or commander, about to be an admiral.
Wow, that's super high up there.
That's amazing.
Unfortunately, it was scheduled for May. So April 30th was when the country disappeared. So
Oh
he could
no.
Oh,
not be admiral.
so he
I
didn't.
think maybe that was one of his
Oh man.
bitterness, there goes his whole military career, going from like second lieutenant to like commander, lieutenant commander, and then about to be admiral, and he didn't get the promotion. Oh well, I can't speak for my dad. He passed away, but he apparently uh, said that he had Jeep for my mother to pick her up to go to the port so that the ship would take her out of the city, but she didn't want to go.
And
That
what was,
was that was her story to
I
me.
guess it's hard to know, but like, what was it like at that time? I mean, when Wayne and I watched the Vietnam War movies or whatever, like, oh, there's
Yeah.
a crazy helicopter taking off. Like, do you have any idea of what it was like locally?
No, I don't think I had any idea.
Yeah.
As a 5-year-old, you're just, I'm sorry, as a 3-year-old, you're not
Yeah.
aware of those things.
Yeah. So,
But
so
reading back, April 30th was probably a chaotic day because after the Americans retreated and the
was that the
embassy,
day? I don't
the
remember my
day,
history. Was
April
that
30th,
They
yeah,
that was the fall of
retreated on that
Saigon
they
Day?
day. They just
retreated, and then the U.S. left the embassy in Saigon, and that was when the communists from the north came in and then just took over the embassy, and then yeah, there was no more South Vietnam,
That's
no more
crazy.
country.
And so
So
so sorry to interrupt your story. That's when you said that your mom got the Jeep was right around the April 30th timeframe?
yeah, around that time. Uh, I think people were just trying to like get on helicopters and
Yeah.
cars and get out of the
Oh,
country, or get on boats and stuff and asked to get out. So apparently she didn't go. So we stayed for another 2 more years, and I have ridiculous fond memories of Vietnam during that time.
Wow.
During when the new government took over, the new communist government took over, for a 4 or 5-year-old. It's kind of funny, because I remember three things. One, every year you had to go and change money. You
hmm.
ever hear of that thing? So
No.
they
No.
print money, and
What
then you
the?
have to go exchange old money for new money.
Oh, is that to get rid of the older money to get back in to use North Vietnam money, like communist money or something?
Yeah, but they do it every year.
Huh.
But anyway, a
Okay.
second thing I remember was my uncle asking me to go buy alcohol. We're 4 and 5 years old. My brother's
What?
6 years old. My brother
I look
hops on a
21.
bicycle. I'm in the back seat.
How is that
And
possible?
then we're given like a couple of $1,000 dongs, Vietnamese dollars. And then we go to a market and just ask for this big bottle. I'm holding it in the back seat of the bicycle as my brother bicycles along. And I'm thinking, wow,
Did you
you
guys
buy
take a swig?
alcohol. Yeah, we just, no, we did not. But,
Yeah.
we were running an errand for my
Wow, that's
uncle.
crazy.
So, and then the third thing I think was, uh, my grandparents had opened a restaurant in Vietnam. They have these shops that are downstairs in the front of the house.
Hmm.
We had a restaurant, and I remember bustling tables as a
Oh,
5-year-old.
wow. So this was after the fall. This was after it was communist and everything, and they decided to
Yeah.
open a restaurant. And then they were like, "Hey, Sarah, why don't you bust some tables for us?"
Yes, I remember taking some orders, and it was basically the
Wow.
classic gum thịt nướng, which is the rice, and then the pork chop and the eggs. And breakfast,
Wow.
they would have coffee, the drip coffee and stuff like that. And I remember busting tables because I wasn't very good at taking orders.
Yeah. I mean,
I
you're
was
kind
like,
of
how am I going to write it
2 year old.
down?
yeah.
Oh my
And so they
God.
just said bust tables and just bring the man water or something and bring out his food for him. So, and then after they leave, bust the tables. And I learned to carry like 3 glasses with my little hand like this, and you just pick it up. So that way you can
Whoa. So I
like
guess
carry
I
the
guess
glasses back and clear the table quicker.
that's crazy. I guess they didn't pay you, right? It was just free labor because
Yeah.
they're like part of
No,
the family.
I didn't even get a break. No, I'm just totally kidding.
Yeah. There's the
Yeah.
break
No.
laws. You should have
Yeah, the California break
definitely
laws.
California break laws. You should have sued them.
Now, did you put it on your resume? You're like, I started work when I was 5 years old.
I should, shouldn't I? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
Good
that's insane.
experience.
Okay, so you were there while it was communist for a few years. And then what happened in what was it, 77, I guess it would have been.
77 now. I don't remember the month or the season. I think uh, that my mother told me uh, to pack up for like a day trip to Saigon. And so I thought, oh, yeah, okay, all right, I know what to do. I've been on one of these trips before. Apparently, those previous trips were like false attempts or fake attempts.
And
But
so now
anyway,
you're
so I packed my
living,
stuff.
and you guys are living in a village, right? You're not anywhere near, well, you're kind of further out from Saigon, but on
Oh,
village, in a village?
yeah, we lived in a small little fishing village called Viet, which is at the very tip of Vietnam.
Mm.
And my mom says we're going to go on a day trip to Saigon, which is about 30 to 40 kilometers, I think,
Okay.
up north of us. And my mom says, we're just going to go on a day trip. So just pack some stuff,
That's
in your little
all.
bag. And then we're going to go, okay, all right,
Yeah.
pack myself. I'll just be home like the
So
following
Sarah, were
other day,
you,
right?
so you were five, so it was a long time ago, but do you remember, like, were you happy at that time, or is it chaotic and you knew everything was just kind of blowing up? Or
I
you just
was,
like, yeah,
oh, well, actually, I was pretty happy. I remember going
okay.
to school, Vietnamese school. Actually, during the daytime, I went to Chinese school
Oh,
Ooh.
because,
learning
and
Chinese.
then during the afternoon, after I was finished with public school, which was Chinese school, I went to a Vietnamese school.
Wow.
Mm,
So,
yeah. So
so
I
pretty,
don't want to
a
tell
pretty
you how
normal life.
rigorous that was. It was just, ugh,
But,
Asian
but
schools
Yeah,
are
was
not.
that harder than bussing
yeah,
tables?
Asian schools in Asia.
It was, they make you take naps. Damn it,
Ah,
Oh.
Damn it, those naps.
horrible. But
Wow.
I mean,
Okay,
it
so
seems like
They
you
make
it
you
was
were,
pretty
write in
normal.
yeah,
Chinese.
seems like you were
Horrible.
overall happy though,
Yeah,
right?
pretty
Like,
normal.
I was a pretty little silly little kid where I would only wanted like sugar cane sticks from the next door neighbor across the street who sold sugar cane sticks. You would chop it up into little bits like this,
Yeah.
and then
in
you
the
would get a
street.
stick. And I wanted one
Chew on it.
so I could just chew on them. Oh boy, but the fibers get stuck in your teeth a lot and they just rot your teeth, obviously. But
Mm.
as a kid, you wanted the sugar, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway, other things that I remember were like, I'm just going to go run through these, like playing soccer in the mud, rolling around in the mud after a rainstorm to wash myself off from the soccer game, making
Man.
clay, dough figures out of clay, taking sticks and twigs for toys because we were poor. We didn't have toys. We make our own toys back then. You guys know what it is. They don't
I
Yeah.
have
didn't make
like,
my own toys in Iowa.
Yeah. Play-Doh, maybe? I mean, the American version of mud.
Oh man, that's
yeah,
crazy.
something like
Actually,
that.
what
But you
I'm
get
picturing,
creative as a kid, right?
that's yeah, I guess a little more creative. You can use sticks and stuff. I'm picturing like the Rambo movies, when he goes into the
Yeah.
villages and stuff. And
Not
it's just like
exactly. We
these.
do live in a regular house, but
Okay. Oh, it's a
like
regular
those,
house. Okay.
yeah, it's a houseboat. It was with like maybe about 8, 10 other people in there. My grandfather, my grandmother, my uncle, my 3 aunts, my mom, my brother and I, and my cousin.
Wow,
Wow.
that's very Asian.
That's
Like a
Yeah,
very
like a
Asian.
million
Yeah.
people in one house. Okay.
yeah,
Wow.
The
yeah,
Asian Waltons. Yeah.
yeah. And that was just only like a quarter of our family. One time my
Yeah.
cousins visited from the rural area and they came and I was like, who are these people? It's my mom came up from a big family. She had 10 brothers and sisters. Two
What?
passed away, so they only currently have 8, including my mother. So my mother's the eldest out of all the 8 children.
Wow. That's incredible.
Eight. That's
My dad
crazy.
was also the eldest as well out of 2 children. So
But that's
that's
quite different than
Okay. Wow.
eight. Yeah.
So then what happened
Yeah.
with the so your mom said you were doing the Saigon trip. What
the
happened with
Saigon,
that?
yes, back to the Saigon trip, supposed Saigon trip. We take a little bus to, I don't know, maybe a bus station out, but it was way out in the rural areas and it was nearby a riverbank. And I thought we were waiting there to wait for another bus to go to Saigon. And then we had waited there for hours and hours. And it was getting darker and darker. And I felt like it was midnight, way past my bedtime for a 5-year-old. I was getting tired and cranky. And then a bus comes along in the dark. And then my mom holds my hand as if we're waiting for the bus. And I was about to, the door opens, I was about to step up and climb on the bus. My mom yanks my hand back, says, no, no. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's not this bus. Okay. And the bus closes the door, drives away. And it got darker even still. And mind you, there's not that many street lights in this riverbank area. So as it got quiet, my mom turns us around. We walk down to the riverbank, down to the river in the dark. And then in the dark, quietly, a canoe floats down and meets us. My mom puts me in the canoe. My brother climbs in the canoe. My mom gets in the canoe. The canoe is paddled quietly in the night along this riverbank. And then we come upon this fishing boat. And next thing you know, I'm hoisted up with me and my brother up to where the steering wheel area is, the deck area, with I think two of my other aunts or something, and then some pregnant women, as I recall. But unfortunately, my mother, as the canoe drifted along, my mother gets hauled into the trunk or the hull area of the ship, the fishing boat. I want to say ship, boat. And then she has to go down into the below deck, and they have to close the deck. And unfortunately, I did not know where she was. And she didn't have time to tell me. So I'm sitting there next to my brother.
Flipping out.
Flipping out, waiting for my mother. And I can't say anything because I don't know anybody. I think I recognized one of the captain was maybe a familiar face, maybe my aunt, but my aunt was just quiet. My brother was quiet. I think the older folks kind of knew what was happening, but I'm still the 5-year-old where it's just like, you just sit there.
So your brother was a little bit older than you, right?
Yeah, he's about 3 years older than me. So he's about 8.
But he wasn't talking to you either. He wasn't like, hey, this is what comes.
I don't think he knew what was going on either.
Oh, wow.
I don't think he knew.
And
so I don't
at
think
this point, though, you figured you were not going on a day trip to Saigon.
No.
You figured that out.
This is not
You're like, this is weird.
I have a pretty good memory of my last trip to Saigon. This was not the way.
And then you were flipping out because your mom is basically gone. For all you knew, she just took off in the canoe or whatever. You didn't know she was in the boat, right?
I didn't even know if she even got on the boat.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It was really dark.
Wow.
I think they didn't want to have it lit. Obviously, if you can just imagine what they were doing, I don't think they want to make any sound.
So actually,
or having flashlights or anything lit.
It's a good question, though. Like, I'm trying to imagine, like, is it because it's communist, they just don't let anybody take off? It's like all like you need papers, or I mean, why couldn't you just get in a boat and go somewhere?
I think with the Communist Party, I don't think you were allowed to leave like that. And also, you wanted to be hush hush about it because I think my mom says the neighbors could report you.
Oh, wow.
Get arrested.
Oh, okay.
And the new communist government was, I think, that they were new. I mean, they just took over the country. So they're just a little more strict, I think. I want to say that's putting it mildly.
Yeah, that's probably putting it mildly. You'd be put in prison maybe, or even killed.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You guys
but
were
can you
escaping.
imagine as adults trying to do that? I mean,
yeah, no way.
If you and Winnie and the kids had to do that, I was thinking you had to go to like Norway via whatever. I don't know. You don't speak the language. You don't know the weather.
And then you couldn't let anybody know. You can't trust your neighbors. You can't trust.
And any second you might get busted, like, and then taken into jail. That's really scary. So you guys were straight up escaping. And then where was the boat going? Was it going in direct to some?
I assumed that they were just heading out to sea.
Oh.
Later, I find out that they just headed straight for sea. I think they were heading towards the Philippines or Malaysia or something. Those are the two closest countries from the tip of Vietnam. I was going to say,
I'm going to have to Google map that, but that feels like it's super ass far away.
Here's the rest of my story of what I can remember.
Okay.
So I cried for 3 days sitting there until I think my aunt, as we got further out into the ocean, they started moving out into the ocean. There was a rainstorm that night, and I recall my aunt picking out like sort of a pan to hold water, rainwater.
Oh
Ouch.
Really
man.
castaway kind of a thing
Yeah.
to hold rainwater. And I think I drank some.
Yeah.
Um,
Ooh.
and I remember the other thing was I think my aunt told me to just be quiet and just have some food, some hot cocoa, whatever it was. But I remember I think I was so hungry. I got tired. I drank that a little bit. I got tired. I slept after crying. And my brother had gotten curious and was walking around the deck. And apparently he grabbed one of the steam pipes and not knowing it was hot,
Ooh.
it burned his hand.
Oh,
And then he almost
Fell
fell
over.
back off the boat. And I
Oh.
think my uncle was maybe one of the deckhands or something, grabbed his t-shirt, pulls him back in.
Whoa.
that's
Yo,
That's
dear,
crazy.
insane.
almost lost my brother.
Yeah, you
Middle
would
of
have
the ocean.
lost him.
Oh God.
Oh, dear.
That's
Yeah, I
scary.
remember when we were on the refugee island, his whole hand was just like burnt and
Oh,
he was
dang.
healing and just scabs were just like his hands were skin was peeling and you could see a burn on his hand. So anyway, actually a couple of days afterwards, the weather's cleared a little bit and I think we got further enough out into the coast that they could let the folks down in the hall up
Wow.
to get some fresh air. Oh dear, they have been down there for like maybe several days. And
Yeah,
Wow.
so
So
that's
they were hiding.
insane.
once they
They were hiding
lifted
in
the
case.
haul, I could see my mom down there and they looked up and they were just like, oh my God, they had been down in the hall where you keep all the fishes. And
Oh,
oh, you
Oh
could just
my
imagine.
God.
My cousins told me that they were throwing up left and right
Yeah, I was
down
about to
there.
say, I'm a person that gets motion sickness, and so as soon as you describe being put down there,
yeah.
I
Wayne's
would,
about to
my
go throw
whole,
up right now.
yeah, exactly. And then,
Yeah, it was a worse condition than I thought I was in. I was just on the upper deck with
yeah,
fresh
you're,
air and just next to the
And
engine and the steering wheel,
and they had to be
crying my
down
eyes
there.
out. I think I had it better. Oh,
I
dear.
think
So they
so.
had to be down there in case another boat saw you guys and they
Well, I
couldn't get
think we
you.
were trying to be a fishing boat. So it was just maybe a few
The
deckhands
crew that
Oh,
look,
and
okay.
yeah,
send some pregnant women and some children,
Okay,
which is
okay.
fine,
So
right?
pretending to be a fishing boat.
You
Okay.
yeah,
can't be a boatload of people hanging
yeah,
out the deck going,
Yeah,
yay,
we're
we're leaving.
leaving.
yeah, we're
No,
leaving.
they're gonna pull you over and yeah, do lots of crazy stuff to you. And I want to say two things. We were lucky enough not to hit a huge storm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would have flipped you guys over for
Two,
sure.
yeah,
oh,
that would have been disastrous because there's no sails on this. It's just a motorized boat.
oh
Can you
man,
imagine a wooden motorized boat
Wow.
with an enclosed hull deck and stuff like that you just throw fishes down there? Two, we did not run into any pirates,
yeah,
So
according to
there were
my
pirates
mother.
then.
There were pirates from Thailand and other countries. I want to say that I don't want to dive into the horrendous stories of what happened to them, but you could read up about it. Some people lost their lives. They sank. They raped
mm,
them. They burned their ship,
Oh,
stole their
gee.
money. You can imagine. I'm
Wow.
not going to say, well, we did not encounter any of that. I don't think we did. But we did encounter dolphins, and I saw dolphins for the first time.
Oh, cool.
As the boat was going in this
Next to the
crystal
boat.
blue water, I'm seeing dolphins dive in front, and I was thinking, what are those things? Never
Yeah.
seen a dolphin in my life. But anyway, I saw my mom, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles all down there in the deck. And then they were able to come up and get some fresh air. And I think that was by the sixth or fifth day.
Holy
Um,
cow.
my mom says that they were running low on fuel. But thankfully, this is where we had some really grateful help from the Malaysian Coast Guard who picked us up.
oh
According to my
wow,
mom, the Malaysian Coast Guard picked us up before we ran out of fuel, dragged us back over, and then they have refugee camps for Vietnamese refugees on their islands. And they put us in several small islands on the east coast of Malaysia. I think we were over in the Terengganu area,
okay.
um,
I
and they
was just
were.
yeah, I had a trivia game where it said like how many islands does Malaysia have, and it was like over 1,000 or something.
I can't even pronounce some of the islands, but some islands were
What
were
was your
were in bad
concentration
shape.
camp? Was Was that
wasn't a
terrible?
concentration. No, it
Oh,
was more like just an island, and you just were allowed some supplies. And I want to say the UNHRC was the United Nations Human Rights Community,
hmm.
provided food for the refugees. They came
Hmm.
Oh, so
every
Okay.
so with crates full of food for us.
did you
Like
guys have food on the
ramen was one item that I
Ramen.
loved. There was
Favorite.
fresh fish and there was rice.
Oh,
But we
wow.
had to build our own structure. And the structure that we had was just a hut. And we just went out and chopped some extra wood and then just built on top of that. And so, again, grandparents, aunts, uncles, all the cousins were there. We just slept out, on wooden beds, You don't need
so
it.
was
It's
there
it's it's like summertime, in the
Yeah.
tropics.
was there any food on the boat?
The only food I recall having was like this sort of tapioca hot cocoa kind of a dish that I had. I
So
don't
no
recall
real food.
eating any solid food.
But you guys were our 5, 6 days. I guess the human body can probably survive on 5, 6 days without a lot of food. Would anybody come off sick, or did anybody pass from the trip or anything? Or
Not that I recall.
okay, wow.
Not that I recall.
Very lucky.
My mom later told me the rest of the family how they did it was they were at home and then the day that they were supposed to the escape, I want to say the escape, they were going and then a family friend had come to visit on that day, but they didn't tell him. So,
Great.
so you couldn't leave him because if he showed up and everyone had disappeared from the house, he's going to be hauled into prison.
Hmm.
So, or like they had to take him with us.
He's like, great.
Yeah.
You're coming
Awesome.
with us.
You're coming with us. Here we
Yeah.
go.
So
Wow.
he came.
How
Yeah.
crazy though. I'm actually, so I went to Google Maps to look at it, and it's like approximately from Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City now, I guess. From there to Malaysia, it's a long ways. So if you're sailing down there, it's like going from Northern California down to, like, I don't know, San Diego or something. So that's a long ways out. I guess you
Yeah.
had to take the risk. I mean, was it, I
Yeah.
guess something in your mom's mind just said like, we got to go. We got to get the hell out of here.
I think it wasn't predominantly her decision. I think it was mostly
Okay.
my grandparents'
Oh,
decision.
okay.
My grandfather and grandmother were, the leaders of the whole group.
Mm,
And then they were talking with their children. And my mom was only 35 at the time.
okay.
So I don't, and then my other aunts and uncles were younger than that. So I don't think they had much way in the decision making.
I gotcha.
So I
Okay.
think grandpa and grandma decided to go, and then the others weigh in. I think they decided. I don't think my mom.
She's gonna follow along.
I don't
Yeah.
know, yeah, because
Wow.
you cannot
And
not go. And she
yeah.
said they attempted like at least 10 times. And I said, why didn't you go those times? Why didn't the family go that time? Oh, those were called attempts. We
Hmm.
wanted to feel how it goes,
Oh, see if it might work, like tests
like
almost.
a
Yeah, like a
test.
test.
Yeah. So
Let's
if
Wow.
you were
see.
gonna
Like if
test drive a
anybody got
car, you test
triggered.
drive it first and see how it goes, and then okay, done,
Ooh,
run the real track.
Yeah.
wow. That's crazy.
I didn't, yeah,
So
well, something I don't think about as a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
no doubt. So you guys ended up in Malaysia, and then so then was it always like, hey, we want to eventually make it to the States at some point, or was it just out of Vietnam and I don't care where?
I I would assume that they wanted to go out of the country. Here's my recollection of it. So um, we were on the island for several months.
Hmm.
Um, I remember just nights of just like cooking over the campfire, eating food, eating ramen, which was our favorite thing to do because ramen was like, oh, so yummy. Um, and I think I recall there's a picture of us standing in the middle of the island, all dressed up. I think maybe it was the last picture before we took off. Oh God, I looked like I had been tanned for like months out in the sun because I was swimming in the lagoon and the ocean for forever every day. But I remember basically my mom and my brother and I meeting with a United States immigration authority, and he
Oh,
interviewed us. I can't remember. obviously I don't know what transpired, but I remember just meeting and just having to behave that day as my mom answered questions, I think through an interpreter. Um, and then we were one of the luckier ones who got to go first out.
When you say
We
go,
got
you
spun.
mean like get
Yeah,
on a
because
plane and
yeah, the rest of the other family, my mom's family, were still there for several more months. They didn't
oh,
wasn't able to leave the refugee camps until much later. So what had happened was my father was already in the States in New Jersey,
Wow.
and with the kindness of the Catholic Church in New Jersey, they were able to sponsor us. Like many church organizations during that time, they sponsored a lot of refugees, families to come over. And next thing I know, we were on a bus to Kuala Lumpur. So from Terengganu to Kuala Lumpur, we were at a hotel for one night in Kuala Lumpur. Wow, I've never seen so many people in my life in KL. Anyway, we took a short plane ride from KL to Hong Kong, and then we stayed overnight in Hong Kong. I had never seen a gigantic, enormous city like that with bright lights and
yeah.
people in my entire life. Either this hotel is luxurious, I don't, in
Yeah.
my eyes,
Yeah.
and then I get on a jetliner airplane,
That must have been
Pan
crazy.
Am.
Pan
Pan
Am, oh
Pan
yeah.
Am.
Am
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Airlines. You guys remember that? It's
Yeah.
1978, so it's Pan Am. I
So
they
cool.
gave me a coloring book with
hmm
crayons with Pan Am logo on it. I colored my way through the whole flight. Oh my God.
Oh
It was
man.
wonderful. Anyway,
So
so
you
my brother
landed.
and I were there, and then we landed in JFK. And mind you, I've forgotten who my father was. I was
Oh
only
wow.
3 when he left in 75, so it's 1978 ish or something. Uh, I meet him at JFK Airport. It's so cold.
Yeah. New
Oh
Yeah,
York,
you've
God.
probably never
baby.
seen that cold either.
Yeah.
Can you guys imagine coming from like Malaysia, Hong Kong
You were
to like,
sleeping outdoors, right?
yeah,
And
I'm sleeping
then,
outdoor with no blankets on.
yeah.
Anyway, so I and I see like of people that are so ginormous. Do they make people this size? Holy smokes.
These,
They
these
are
white
so
people and
These
tall.
big white
No, there
people.
was African American and
Oh
white
yeah, yeah.
people, and it was just like, wow. And I think I accidentally grabbed onto the legs of a gentleman that was not my dad.
Okay. Got it.
Oops. And
yeah,
I look
that's
up and I go, oh, hey, that's not my dad. Oh, I was introduced to him. And then for some reason, okay, all right, he's my dad. And then I grabbed onto somebody's leg and apparently it wasn't
Wasn't
my
your
dad.
dad.
Can you
wow.
imagine
Yeah.
the little
Dang.
Asian kid hanging onto
Yeah.
somebody's dad like this going,
Yeah.
oh, you're not my
Oops.
dad.
Wow.
Oh.
So
I
that
remember the cab ride from JFK across to Washington Bridge. You see the Twin Towers, and then going over to Jersey and stuff like that. And when we
Crazy.
resided in Trenton, Jersey.
wow. So and then after that you became an Asian American, I guess, and then you made your way
Yeah.
out to
Not,
California.
not really.
And there you
I think
go.
my first night there was really kind of sort of ingrained in my memory, just the cab ride and then going to my dad's apartment in Trenton. And just that night, I was so tired, I think, from the flight. We were in our bedroom, it was twin beds, and then and then there was a cross in the room of Jesus Christ, and I have never seen a cross before
Hmm.
of Jesus Christ's crucifixion, and I was just like, I'm sorry, what is that?
Yeah. Why is
I
that
was
dude
just
on that?
yeah, I wasn't introduced properly to the religion, so I was just like, I couldn't sleep that night. I think I tried to just sleep.
Yeah.
The
It's kind
next
of a
morning, I remember eating my first meal in America, and that was Kellogg's Frosted Flakes with a big
there
old
you
tiger on
go.
it when they
Tony the
still had the
Tiger.
tiger. Yeah,
Tony
Tony the
the
Yep.
Tiger,
Tiger.
Frosted Flakes.
and red radishes.
Red
Red
radishes.
radishes.
That
What?
sounds very
I,
Asian.
Yeah, that just doesn't sound American.
I
I guess
I
I
don't
guess
know
they're
why my
easing
mom
you
was
into it.
craving that, so I had some of that with milk. So That's my
Wow.
first American breakfast. Yeah. And there was a lot of other firsts. Seeing snow for the first time, and my brother and I tried to make snow cones out of.
Yeah.
I went to Catholic school. They were kind enough to let us into Catholic school. Green plaid skirts and all.
Wow,
Mass
what
on
a crazy story. Have you ever?
mass
Great
during
memory.
like those mass time, you can't eat lunch in your classroom even though you're hungry. You have to wait till lunchtime. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
All this
mean,
sorts of stuff.
it's such a
The
crazy
sisters
story,
were
and
funny.
to go from one, sort of side of the world and one completely different culture and
Yeah,
environment to another. Have you thought about like putting that into words and writing a book or something?
I thought about it, but I am not so disciplined like you
Chat
guys.
GPT, that'll do it.
Yeah, ChatGPT.
That's all you
Maybe,
need.
maybe I'll take tips from you afterwards, after this podcast. We'll see if I could actually put it down into paper.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
you
it sounds
should.
so interesting. I mean, it's like edge of seat stuff. I mean, obviously, Wayne and I, we essentially had silver spoons comparatively. Like we just
Yeah.
grew up and went to school and everything was awesome. But that's what a crazy story. Well, we really appreciate you telling it. I mean, we wish you could hear it. We could hear a lot more of it, but this podcast can only go so long.
Mm, mm.
But when your
But what
book
an
comes
awesome story.
out, when your book comes
That's
out,
right.
My book comes out.
we
Yeah.
will help
100%. All
promote
the
it.
details.
Yeah.
So, but we did want to ask you about your White Castle. Before we started this, we asked you whether you had a White Castle, and you said yes. So tell us about your White Castle.
My White Castle is going to be two White Castles. So one is more like the lofty goal, long-term lofty goal, and one is more a simple goal, or
Hmm.
vice versa, whatever. One I think is I'd like to stay in San Francisco for as long as I can. I know that's kind of a silly thing, but
Even
that
if it
was
becomes
always,
a zombie apocalypse,
yeah, even
Yeah.
if it
like
comes
no
up a
matter what.
zombie, no matter what.
No matter what. You
Because
just be one of the
that was,
zombies. Why
Yeah,
yeah,
not?
I'm gonna
you'll
be
be
one
a
of the
zombie
zombies.
walking around.
Yeah.
I'll be the Will Smith just hanging out with
That's
Yeah.
my
right. The
lone
last
zombie and my
one,
dog.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
No.
Will Smith movie, that was pretty cool,
legend.
right? That was kind of, I can
No,
picture
I
that
think,
now.
well, I've been in the city for like, 20 something years, and that was always my bucket list to go from Sacramento to San Francisco. And I like the city.
Yeah.
It's home now to me. So I would like to say, look back maybe after 40 years or 50 years being here. Hey, I lived here for 40, 50 years in this city. I want to
Yeah.
say that someday. That's going to be one of my bucket lists.
Okay.
That why that'll be cool because San Francisco has actually gone through such a huge change even since Wayne and I were there. .com was there, and then COVID kind of blew it up, and now it's kind of up and down, and then AI may be coming back. Who knows? That'll be cool to see all the up and downs of San Francisco.
Yeah,
That's another
yeah.
book.
That's
Yeah.
another book. Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
have the best restaurants, I think, almost in the world
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
your disposal right
True.
there.
Yeah. I was just briefly, the second thing I want to say is probably, I want to say more memories, more ridiculous, embarrassing memories with my friends. Wayne, this is a story that you might recall.
Okay.
Remember we went on this one trip to Moning, California. We went to Moning Cave diving one year.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But go
You're
elaborate
like,
further.
maybe
I don't know.
what?
I've been on
Okay,
so many of
keep
those.
going.
No,
Oh, but anyway, we went with you, me, Winnie, and Derek. I think it was with Derek, and we didn't bring a camera during that time. Like, and I wanted to buy a camera, but we didn't bring any cash because we were told not to carry anything valuable as we're crawling around in the mud. So what I want to do is maybe someday I just want to repeat that silly cave diving thing with you guys as one of those bucket lists because I
yeah,
have
no,
so
I
many
definitely
memories
remember
with,
it. Yeah, yeah. It
yeah,
was
I
like
have so many
spelunking,
memories.
right? It's spelunking or something, and you got to go, in the caves and I don't know. I think
Yeah,
rappelling.
we rappelled down a 200-foot
Yes.
Wow.
cave and saw
Wow.
a bunch of stalagmites, stalactites, and we went through something called the dinosaur's nostril or something. And some people got claustrophobic.
Right.
Did you remember I got stuck on the rappel? I was
I
like
do.
hanging
I
there,
think because I
and
was
then
I was above you, so I was waiting
yeah,
for you to keep
and I
going.
was like thinking, oh no,
I
I'm
just sat
doing it
there.
again. I'm doing it again where I'm just like, oh, I'm embarrassing my friends. I'm just They're like telling me, go, go. Or you remember that one time I did not want to dive into that off that cliff and just
I
go,
remember it.
Sarah.
Yeah, yeah.
Go, Sarah. Go.
Took about 20 minutes to jump off of a 4-foot rock or something. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's cool
That's
though.
another example.
The general concept of it is life is about the memories. I mean, right?
Yes.
You want to go back and you want to remember all the cool stuff that you did. I mean, who cares about the money you made or whatever? It's about the cool stuff you did with your friends and your family, right?
Yeah. Those are things I want to sit on my rocking chair, my so-called rocking chair, and just think, oh, hey, we did that. Cave diving, try to jump off a 4-foot
Yeah.
cliff and
And that's exactly why Wayne and I wrote the book. We want to look back and be like, here's all the dumbass stuff we did. So, but cool, that's awesome. Some really good White Castle stuff there. So Wayne, what do we have next on the list in the podcast?
Yep.
yeah.
It is the How Asian Are You segment. So get ready. Hansel's going to reel off a few questions here.
Okay,
And
so normally there
Okay.
would have been a gong, but I did not hear it for whatever technical reason, but I'll just make the sound gong.
oh, that is so weird.
Am
All
I
right,
the
so
first one? See, things happen when you with me, nothing goes right.
Yeah, how
something
is that? So I
something
actually
always
heard the
happens.
gong. So
Yeah,
neither
it
of you
didn't come
heard the
through.
gong.
Anyway, all right.
All
So
right.
the
I
How
didn't hear
Asian
that.
are you? The Haru quiz. So let's see how Asian you are. Usually my questions are more Chinese oriented, but I mixed them up this time just for you,
Okay.
Sarah. Make it general Asian. All right. Bruno Mars. You know who Bruno Mars is, right?
Oh dear, you gave me a hard one.
But
I
wait,
think
that
so. I
wasn't the
think he's
question. I was just
Yeah,
asking if
that's
you
not the question yet. That's just a preemptive, do you know Bruno Mars? And it's just like, no,
He's
I
like a
don't.
super
Okay.
famous
All
musician.
right.
If you don't know him,
So
then you're not going to get this one.
probably not going to get it. Yeah,
I'm
but
being like Louise from Ant-Man. Where is Scott? Literally.
Okay. All right. So Wayne is going to tag in as your partner then.
right.
And
Let's
you
tag
guys
team
can take
it.
a wild guess. Bruno Mars. He did the wait, what did he do? The funk what? Wayne,
Funk.
sing the song.
Yeah, I don't know. Something, get your funk
Okay.
on
If
or yeah, I
any
know
of
the
our kids
song. I can
if
picture
any of
it,
our
but
kids were here, they'd be able to sing it, but I'm
yeah.
sure you would hear he was at the Super Bowl that we were at, Wayne. He was one of the
Yeah, yeah. No, I can picture it. I can hear it in my head. I just I'm tone
can't
deaf.
think of any of the songs off. Anyway, Sarah, you would totally know who this dude is. Okay, so Wayne, you play for Sarah. You play in for Sarah, and you guys can guess together.
Yeah.
Bruno Mars is actually he's from Hawaii, but he is half what Asian ethnicity?
Filipino?
What? So you don't know who Bruno Mars is,
But you
but you
got
know
the
his race.
Filipino.
Oh, yeah, he's
Yeah. That
Filipino.
was a great guess.
Ding,
Yeah,
ding, ding,
actually.
ding, ding, ding. He is Filipino.
Yeah, so I guess the sounds are gonna not be there.
So
I'll have to do the
do the verbal
vocal.
sounds.
That is
Do it
so
with your
weird.
mouth. Ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding. You got it. All right. Nice.
Hey.
Okay. All right. Here's another pretty. This one is pretty. So I didn't know you as well. So I don't know how Asian you are, but I'm gonna give you this one, which you may or may not know. All right. A bunch of people in LA um, have opened up donut shops. There's a guy named the Donut King, and he started the way for all of these people from what country to open up a ton of donut shops in the LA area. They're famous for this. They are right next to your home country.
I do not know this one.
Wayne,
Oh,
you got to know.
Cambodia.
Cambodia.
Oh, wow.
Did you know that? I didn't. I actually only knew it
I
because
did
I
not
saw
know.
this
What is the name of the
thing
donut?
on United Airlines. It was like this documentary. Apparently, somebody from Cambodia came over and opened a donut shop in LA, and then suddenly he started franchising them. And so all of these Cambodians from Cambodia started opening up donut shops. And so like hundreds of donut shops in the LA
Wow.
area are opened by Cambodian people. And it's like a big thing down there. It's like Cambodians donuts.
Wow. Well, that's
That's like
good
a
for
I
thing.
think
them. Oh
there's
my
I
God.
mean, there's some good documentaries on him too,
Yeah.
which are pretty amazing.
Are they
Yeah.
here in the
And
Bay Area yet or just still down in the LA
No,
area?
it's not. They're not even related. It's just like some guy opening up like one Cambodia that did, a single location of a donut thing. It's not a chain or anything. It's just like a
yeah, and
bunch
I
of
think he
Cambodians.
sponsored a lot of refugees and things
Yeah,
to get over here and taught them how to run their own donut things.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
he's even the guy that came up with just the generic pink box because
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
cheaper
yeah.
and
Wow.
everybody else was doing these branded boxes and all these things. And he was just like, it saves me like so much money, a pink plain box. And now it's synonymous. If you see a box, right, a pink box, your mouth starts salivating. You start thinking,
so he obviously made a crap ton of money, but then he lost it all because what was he, like gambling or something?
That's right.
Oh dear. Oh gosh.
It's a great story though. Donut King. It's called Donut King. You should check it out.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up. But that's great. That's almost like so beneficial to an entire community to do that. That is wonderful.
Gives them a job.
Minus the gambling part.
Yeah, minus the losing all the money, millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. This is a current event question about Emmys. So this is not Vietnamese or Cambodian, but it is also not Chinese. What is the name of do you watch a lot of TV, Sarah?
Not really.
Okay, I shouldn't even tee up any of these questions.
Yeah, but you know Bruno Mars. She knows Bruno Mars. So.
For some reason, it's stuck in my mind. Yeah.
Okay.
She knows that Bruno Mars is Filipino.
All right. What is the TV show? I will actually give you the clue. What is the TV show that is based on I guess old Japanese culture that won 18 Emmys as a record-breaking win this year? Based on Japanese culture, one white guy in it.
Oh, I know that one. I watched the original one, Shogun.
Shogun!
I have not watched the new one. I watched the original one with Richard Chamberlain, so yes, Shogun.
Richard Chamberlain.
Yeah,
that's right. Wayne, okay, now everybody be quiet. Wayne, do the sound with your mouth, not the win. The winner sound.
Well, I did the woo.
Woo, woo, woo. We all do
the
it.
level up is just kind of, I mean, I can put my mic near my thing. I don't know why, like if you guys aren't hearing it.
All you have to do is say ding, 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 Wayne.
Yeah, it's this.
Ding, 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 winner. All right, still cannot hear it. It must just be automatically muted out. Anyway.
It's the curse of the technical curse that follows me. You guys got it now.
That is really weird. Because now I'm technically.
All right, anyway, let's wrap up this podcast with the life tip that you would have for the audience. Sarah, what would you have for the audience?
Life tip. Life is wonderful. Try to stay healthy as best as you can. I think simply we should try to have less stress, eat right, sleep right. I think keeping those things in mind, those are more attainable to us. I think for me, chasing, gazillion, bazillions, that's kind of difficult for the average person. But the average person can probably try to stay healthy, eat right, and try to be happy, sleep. Eat.
Yeah, because life is not about all the millions of dollars, like you said. It's about those experiences you're talking about. And so keep yourself healthy.
Yeah, we all have those. We got a ton of experience, all of us, each and every one that's unique,
And that's what we're going to remember on our deathbed, not all the stupid material stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like the microphone dying on, Wayne's wedding where I had to repeat what I say 3 times and here the ding, ding, ding doesn't work. Oh, dear.
That's right. Those nobody will remember. But if we actually get enough sleep, eat right, those are things we can control. We cannot control this mic thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Awesome. Well, Sarah, thanks so much for your time today. It's been it was a really I think this was probably one of the most interesting podcasts in terms of the stories that came out. That's it's really crazy stuff what you went through. Can't wait to see the book. Thanks for being on, Sarah. Really
thanks for being on, Sarah.
All right. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
We are sponsored by none other than the Coder School, a company that teaches kids how to code with over 70 locations all around the country. So if you're interested in getting your kids to code, head online and check us out. Learn to code, change the world. Thanks for listening.